Got a quick video for you today. It's the Fenix WH23R work headlamp or head torch. This is a pre-production sample, so I don't have the final retail packaging. So what I've done is put some information up on screen for you so you can see some of the features of this head torch. We have a spotlight and floodlight mode with 3 power levels each. Put the sizes and spec on screen for you. The material on this is polycarbonate mostly. It's that hard plastic material. It's quite strong. There's the different design on the reflectors. You can see the sort of pattern on the right hand side one. That's the one which will give it more of a floodlight. Below that we have the 2 sensors. This is motion activated, and do note that it is recessed. So that's designed really to sort of protect the lenses, I think. It does feel quite solid, and they do have this interesting rotary switch on the side. This has click positions, so you move it clockwise. It starts at off, then you've got your spotlight, then the next one is a floodlight, and then it's turbo. I counted 12 click positions for this, moving it up and down, which is quite good. Quite fine adjustment on the angle. And here's a close-up just to show you those grooves there on the back. Battery is sealed in with this though, do remember that. When it's on, just push and hold that button in for about a second and the blue LED will come on when the motion sensor is active. Range on this is about 12-13 centimeters in total, but it does vary depending on the object. On the underside you can see the silicone cover for the Type-C charging port. Reasonably easy to get that open, and it does seem to stay in place quite well. Onto the headband they have a bead of silicone around it, and it's quite thick, goes around about half of the length of the strap. This is perforated. It does have the holes there which will give a bit of ventilation. Perfectly decent quality with the anti-reflective markings on it. If you want to take it off though, you'll have to do it via the adjuster on the strap. You can see there is a cutout on there, so just pull that through there and then you can take it off if you need to. I'll show you the battery level indicator now. This is when it's off. Just push the side button and you get the 4 stages that light up there for a couple of seconds. Onto the UI, it's going to be very short and simple. It starts at off, rotate clockwise for spotlight, then floodlight, and then turbo. All you need to do then is just push the button for the floodlight and spotlight to change the 3 power levels, and it does remember the last setting for both of those. I can see where Fenix are going with this for work use, particularly if you've got gloves on or something like that. That rotary switch is going to be quite useful. I've just put the user guide up there quickly for you to have a look, so do go through that if you want to. This is the charging test that I did, and it took 1 hour 35 minutes and came in at 2079 on the charge capacity, 6100 kelvins, so it's not quite as cool as some other LEDs. And I'm giving you a quick side-by-side with the Nitecore NU33, which is the last head torch video that I did. The Fenix is a fair bit bigger, but there are pros and cons to both of these. I believe you can also get a work mount for the Fenix for a hard hat or safety helmet. Start off with the Unicorn on the Beamshots, 850 lumens, a mixed beam pattern. I'm going to go through the NU33 again because that is quite an interesting one to compare it to. You can see the different output from this one. At the highest level of 700 lumens, that is the spotlight on the Nitecore. But when I move over to the Fenix, you only have the turbo mode with both of those. So you'll see the beam will be a little bit different, although I think it works perfectly well enough. In terms of the spotlight at 300 lumens, you've still got plenty of range on this. Big difference when you move over to the floodlight. Of course, it spreads out very nicely, and you'll see that a bit more in the closer up shots that I do. On the turbo of 600 lumens, you get a blend of the spotlight and the floodlight together. Do have a look through the rest of the beam shots though, and I'll give you my summary at the end of the video. Few thoughts on the Fenix Headtorch. I think it's quite an interesting model, this particular one. I do quite like the build quality on this, and that rotary switch is something which I think people will quite like. Drawbacks potentially, you can't replace the battery, it is sealed in. The flood and the spotlight, you only have the turbo power level, and I would like to have a neutral white for the flood beam, but that's just a personal preference from myself. Thanks for watching, do take care, and I will see you in the next video.